the best way to think of it is there are essentially three classes of individuals, from probably most reliable to least reliable, in terms of how they can help a player character. At the top of that list are your followers. These are the folks who are attracted to your player character at name level or thereabouts. It's going to depend on edition. When you read about a character hitting a certain milestone level and then some folks decide to join them, those are followers. I tend to think of those as true believers in the cause, whatever you'd like to think of that cause being. They've been pulled in by the renown and the exploits of this player character. And not to say that they are not bound by morale and reactions and all that stuff, but they are folks who are more inclined to stick it out with the PC. They believe in them. They came and traveled across the world to be near them, to follow them. They're followers. Under that are retainers. Retainers are essentially hired hands, though potentially they could be presented as a follower type as well. They've got class levels, so they are not craftsfolk or working folk like the lowest class is, but they are usually paid. They get shares of the treasure, and what sets them apart is essentially they are other NPC clerics, fighters, magic users, whatever class, who have decided to come and join, or they bargained with the party to come and join a particular character. They are bound within the limits of a character's charisma, so you can't ever have more retainers than your charisma bonus. They also can't be equal or higher level than a character is. So a low-level magic user might show up to join a higher level magic user to learn from them, or you might be able to bargain with them at a tavern or town square to join you, but they will not be the equal of the magic user. They'll be at least one level below. And then finally, we have what I'm calling, or what I call, hirelings. These are the folks, your torchbearers or link boys, your porters, your animal handlers, your butlers, accountants, all these folk who can be skilled or unskilled depending on what they've been hired to do or what their occupation is, that are for pay. They're in it for the money. They are level 0, and they are highly bound to the vagaries of life in the world, right? So they are, of the three types, probably the ones that are going to be most liable to be swayed by swings in morale or reactions. They tend not to go on adventures, though in this case, when we're talking about adventures, we're really talking about stuff that's happening in dungeons and other structures. They can sometimes travel with you. There are exceptions. So there are your three classes. We have followers. These are the folks who generally find you at name level. You could probably work this earlier into the level progression, but those are the folks who show up. If you read in the older books, when you hit name level and so many people decide to come up and follow you, those are your followers. Retainers are folks who you could hire or potentially follow you, but generally I think they're for hire. They get shares of the treasure. They are class leveled characters. And then you've got hirelings, which are the masses of humanity, level 0. Your anything from accountants to butlers to link boys to mercenaries, all that sea of humanity down there at level 0. You're going to see different books talk about them differently. For example, I noticed when I was just verifying something in the basic book that they use hirelings and retainers interchangeably. In fact, if you read the section on retainers, they parenthetically call them hirelings. I don't think of retainers as hirelings, but that's just in playing this game and being around it for X so many years. I have hirelings as what basic, an expert term as specialists. So you might see specialists, you might see hirelings, you might see another word altogether. Instead of retainers, you might see a different word. Some folks might see retainers as followers and followers as retainers. It's really going to depend on the material you're reading, and then if they're like me, all the hodgepodge of information that we've got up in our brains, and those are just the categories that work for me. But if you just think about it in those different classes, people who are attracted to you because of your name and exploits, people who are classed and attracted to you usually through money and a share of the proceedings, but they have class levels and they're going to be progressing. And then folks who are your level 0 working folk, the working man, the working woman, the working people who are in it for the money, not going on adventures for the most part, and are just no limits into how many you can employ, right? Followers are going to be the number you're going to have is more or less going to be based on what they say at name level, and then whatever fictional reasons you have. Retainers are determined, the number is determined by your charisma modifier. Hirelings, as many as you can afford. I hope that helps. Hope I didn't add confusion to the mix. Feel free to drop me any other messages in the comments here or elsewhere. I will try to get to them. Apologies if I muddied the waters further. Other than that, game on, and I'll talk to you later.